Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Bottom line, what you need to know. Story of the night. I'm in shock. I'm in shock like everybody else is in shock. The late game in San Francisco. Texas Tech beats Arkansas in overtime. 85-83 in overtime is the final score. It's a shocker. It is a stunner. Texas Tech did not have a lead. They fell behind 5-3 and never had a lead after that until overtime. You've heard it, second biggest comeback in Sweet 16 history. I'll just be real, guys, girls. We're coming on 5 minutes after this game. I had a page of notes ready to go for an Arkansas win, advancing to the Sweet 16. Arkansas's largest lead in this game was 16 points. They led by, let me make sure that I have this correct. They led 69-56. They led by 13 points with 4 minutes to go. They end up losing the game. They end up losing in overtime. Guys, girls, I don't even know what to say. Listen, I'll be real. If you want the 100% honest, transparent truth about everything from Thursday night, one, you're watching both games. Arizona Duke is coming down to the wire, but you're watching both games. Arkansas and Texas Tech. Arkansas is up 69-61, and I'll be real. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I went to the bathroom. I had to use the bathroom. I put a little gel in my hair. I knew we were going live. I figured we were good. What ends up happening? They're up 69-61. This is Arkansas. Come out of a timeout, couple misses, couple bad shots. All of a sudden, Texas Tech comes down. They make a couple buckets, and all of a sudden, we have a game. I think, to me, maybe the most underrated play. This was late in the game. Arkansas up 6, by the way, with 1:15 to go. I'm looking at this score sheet in real time. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to get everything figured out. But what I will say is there were a couple things that stand out in terms of why Arkansas lost. Bad coaching, bad execution late, bad shot selection. But there were two things that stood out. The first one, I can't even find it in the score sheet. If anybody listening can throw it in the chat, you could tell me. There was a play late where Arkansas gets a defensive rebound. It was Nelly Davis specifically, and he's holding the ball waiting to get fouled, and the ref immediately calls a jump ball. That was what gave Texas Tech the ball back. I believe that was what led to the game-tying three-pointer. I could be wrong, but also we know what the other story is going to be. Arkansas up 3, minute 7 to go. As you know, missed three-pointer by Trevin Brazile. Missed three-pointer by Texas Tech. And so Jonas Adu gets the ball. He gets fouled. One free throw. I don't want to say it ices the game, but it basically ices the game. He misses it, and we know what happens from there. Everybody's going to be talking about it. It is going to be the big story on Monday or on Friday when you turn on all the debate shows, First Take, well, whatever. When you turn on all the debate shows, why didn't you foul up 3, okay? Well, first of all, remember, the possession before they were up 3 did not foul. They got the stop. The issue becomes this time they don't get the stop on the second one. And, of course, oh, by the way, Darian Williams hits that 3 to force overtime. And so the big story, you got to foul up 3. You're down 3. But listen, can I say something? I'm going to be real. And maybe this sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever said. This game isn't about fouling up 3. One, you were up 13 points with 4 minutes to go. You were up 6 with a minute to go. And so, yes, should you have fouled up 3? Probably. Is there history for people who know John Calipari's career? Yeah, there probably is. 2008 National Championship game. Memphis up 3. They don't foul. Chalmers hits a 3, forces overtime. They go to overtime, and, of course, Kansas wins the national championship. Bill Self gets a national title. So, to me, obviously, yes, I think you foul up 3, especially given the history. It is not pretty. But to me, the bigger story is not fouling up 3. The bigger story to me is that you were up by as many as 16 points in the second half. You were up by, what did I say, 13 points with 4 minutes to go. Bad shot selection, bad out of timeout stuff, missed free throws. And so I could go on and on, but listen, that's going to be the story. I mean, I could go, I haven't even looked at the chat. I can't even imagine what people are saying right now, but that's going to be the story come Monday. Why, or come Friday? Why didn't you follow up 3? What were you thinking? Why didn't you do it? This and that. And I'll say this, listen, Arizona ended up losing to Duke here on Thursday night, but we also all kind of stuck through the end of that game on Sunday night when they just kept following. They were up 3. They kept following, extending the game, and basically saying, we're not going to let you tie this thing up or beat us with a 3. So I understand the theory. I understand the philosophy. Yes, I think you do always follow up 3. I mean, there's nothing else to say. The counter to that is, again, if you have a 13-point lead, you shouldn't blow it. In the second half, you have a 13-point lead with 4 minutes to go. You end up losing the game. And so the first thought is, first of all, I'll say this. We'll get to the Texas Tech thing in a minute. Arkansas fans, I feel terrible. I don't know what else there is to say. It's been an incredible season. It's been up and down. We've talked about it a lot. We've talked this. We've talked that. We've talked the highs. We've talked the lows. I'll be real, as somebody who had Arkansas in my preseason Final Four. Yeah, like I thought, I was already like, they're going to the Elite Eight. We're trying to figure this out. Can they beat Florida? They're playing so well, but it's so disappointing. I feel bad for for the fans. I feel bad for the players. Nelly Davis was unbelievable in this game. 30 points for Nelly Davis. Oh, by the way, Carter Knox was probably the best player on the floor for that team. 20 points, 4 of 4 from 3, 6 rebounds. Had the best game that, he's maybe had as a Razorback. And so I feel terrible. The conversation will be fouling up 3. To me, again, a couple things. 13-point lead with 4 minutes to go. The other variable, again, that weird jump ball where it was in Nelly Davis's hands and he's expecting to get fouled. The ref immediately calls a jump ball. By the way, had a buddy who's not even an Arkansas fan, doesn't care, text me. He's like, that was weird. What just happened? So that happens. And then, of course, you don't follow up 3. I feel terrible for Arkansas fans. I feel terrible for the players. And let me say this, we've been doing kind of the season ending thing for all of these teams as they get knocked out of the tournament. I don't think right now is the time to do it for Arkansas fans. I don't know what to say, man. I am so in shock. Like I said, I had a whole page of notes ready to go, talking about Carter Knox, talking about this, talking about that, and it all falls apart. Really quickly, Texas Tech, we got to give them credit, right? I mean, they were so bad early. They struggled early. Now, the one thing I will say, they do end up shooting 8 of 32 from 3, but I think they started 1 of 10. So what is that, 9 of the final 22? I think that was when I was worried a little bit, was just there was a moment in time where you're like, they're not going to keep shooting this bad. But I really thought down the stretch, as much as they're going to talk about following up 3, this and that, I thought Grant McCasland did a really good job. Couple things. One, Federico. They couldn't stop making fun of the kid's name on the broadcast. By the way, Stan Van Gundy, Kevin Harlan, come up with a better shtick. Same first name as last name. It's okay. It's not that funny, okay? But I bring it up because that kid was the X factor. Let me make sure I have this right, because I looked it up. Federico off the bench. How about this? Finishes 7 points, 9 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. I think he had 4 offensive rebounds in one singular possession. I think he had 4 offensive rebounds in one singular possession that ended at a 3, or it ended at a 2, because he ended up with the 2. But he was the X factor. The other thing that stood out to me late, Darian Williams, they talked about the impact that kid has. Well, I'll tell you what, it felt like late in the game, first of all, he took too many threes early, but it felt like late in the game, they kind of figured out, hey, let's keep going to him. Let's keep getting mismatches with their big guys, because Adu Thiero was the only one that could really guard him, and Adu clearly could not play. He played probably, 7-8 minutes early, and then really didn't see the game the rest of the game. Adu played fine on him, but they kept switching him to Carter Knox, to Janelle Nelly Davis. And one time after another, he got either buckets or he got to the foul line. By the way, the 3-pointers he hit late certainly made a difference. But to me, it was really the switches late, the down low stuff late, and Texas Tech gets the win. So Texas Tech, I mean, you're just talking about just an unbelievable finish for them. They deserve all the credit. Again, the story is going to be Calipari. That's how it works. When LeBron loses in the playoffs, it's never about the team that won. And I'm not saying John Calipari is the LeBron of college basketball. It's not what I'm saying. But, when LeBron's team loses, it's always about LeBron losing, not the other team winning. And it sucks for Texas Tech because an incredible comeback, one of the greatest comebacks that we have ever seen in this tournament. And they probably won't get enough credit. But yes, the story come Friday. Should you have followed up 3? The answer is yes. But I'm sorry, it doesn't come down to one play. You were up 13 points with 4 minutes to go. You couldn't get an offensive rebound at crucial times. You didn't make free throws. I'm not blaming any one person for any one missed free throw, but you just didn't make the plays late. Coach tight, played tight. By the way, the thing that sucks, there were some big plays late. Carter Knox had several big plays. That Trevin Brazil 3 late. So you just, you feel bad for Arkansas. You feel great for Texas Tech. But yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say. I'm just in shock right now. I'm in shock. Producer Matt, I know I'm kind of throwing you a curveball. Are there any interesting questions about the game? I'm guessing there's a lot of conversation, to say the least. If there's nothing interesting, I totally get it. But I just, guys, girls, I'm in shock. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, when you are preparing for one result, then it goes to overtime, then there's ebbs and flows, and it's just over. It's like, I don't know what to say. Credit to Texas Tech. Listen, credit to Texas Tech, man. Made all the big plays late. 13 points with 4 minutes to go. They made all the big plays. Christian Anderson was great. Federico was great. Darian Williams was great. But don't really know what else there is to say.